It never fails, guys. Every time I do a video on Belizean fried jack, I get a whole bunch of backlash. So today I decided to do a scientific test and collect empirical data, Joe, on what makes the perfect fried jack. You're watching The Bear Pantry Show. My name is Barbara, and for over a decade I've been teaching viewers and subscribers how to cook authentic dishes from my home country of Belize and many other delicious dishes from basic ingredients. Alright, Joe, so when you went to go pay the light bill, I got in here and got busy. Did you notice?
That's what I'm looking at right now.
So I did 4 different versions of Belizean fried jack because I want to address all these comments that I always get. My stuff's doing well at TikTok right now, Joe. My video that I put up, my little, what do you call it? My little reel, my little short, my 15-second video. And so I'm getting a lot of comments, and I don't know if the people are fighting with me, but I'm answering them. So I decided I'm going to do a scientific study. So first of all, I did 4 versions, and for all of them I did 1 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and then I did different things with, you know, water, milk, and so on. So the first one right here in the yellow bowl, I did flour, baking powder, water, and butter. All right. So now, did I tell you guys that all of them have 1 cup of flour and 1 teaspoon of baking powder each? Because that's the amount that we normally make. We don't normally make a big amount unless people are coming to the house. The next one has flour, baking powder, shortening, and water because we don't have any lard in the house, or else I would have used lard. So then the other one is flour, baking powder, and water. No kind of fat, right? And then this is the one that we normally make, which is flour, baking powder, and milk. I think on one of them, Joe, I put in some salt. And you can put salt in any of them if you want, but I decided to back off of the salt because I can't eat a whole lot of salt because I suffer with Meniere's. So this is what I discovered. When I was making the dough, the one with the butter, the dough felt really flexible and pliable and, you know, kind of stretchy and stuff like that. The one with the shortening, the same way, but a little bit less. The one with the plain water was a little bit more stiff, right? And no fat at all, just water. And then the one that we do with milk, which I've come to the conclusion that this one also has fat in it because milk has fat.
Right.
So when I met you, you were the one that I learned how to make fried jack from. My mom used to make fried jack, but my mom didn't share none of her recipes with me, all right? I had to like pry it out of her hands when I was writing my first book. So when I met Joe, he was making fried jacks. Who taught you how to make fried jack?
My mom.
All right, so how did she used to make her fried jack?
Water, baking powder, and
flour.
Flour.
You need the flour to make the fried jack, and maybe some salt, right?
Yeah, maybe some
so
salt.
Basically, she didn't used to put any fat in it.
Nah.
And then when you moved to America, you used to make it the same way,
Right.
and then at some point you tried milk.
Right.
Why did you try milk?
I just want to change it.
That's how Joe is. He will always mess around with a recipe just to see if he can make it better or maybe sometimes worse, right? All right, so a lot of people come for me and drag me whenever I make this. First of all, they say it's not fried jacks, it's fried jack. Okay, whatever. It's a bunch of fried jacks over here, so it's plural, all right? So then the next thing, they're like, you have to put fat inside. Joe taught me you only put fat inside the dough if you're going to make a tortilla. So that's what the person asked me too on TikTok. They said, well, if it doesn't poof up, is it then a tortilla? I'm like, are you really asking a legit question? Because a tortilla is baked on a griddle or a comal. This is fried, all right? This is a fried bread, or Joe family call it fried cake, right?
A fried jack.
When I met you, you were calling it fried cake. It was kind of hard for me to get used to hearing fried cake. So anyways, I don't like my fried jack to be poofy or puffy like this. I don't like it like this because then you have to poke it and put things on the inside, and I don't want it stuffed. I want to put stuff on top. So this is the way, show it, Joe. This is the way I like my fried jack. Grab one of those ones. This one is the one that's made with butter, and when you lower the temperature on the fire a little bit, it won't poof up as big, but it'll have a few little puffs in it. See?
Have a few gullies.
Yeah, this one is the one that's plain, no fat at all, and made with water. And then this one is made with shortening, and I like it like this too. I like to put stuff on top. You know what I mean? So all of them will poof up, if you see here on the table, if you don't slit them. That's why when I did the video for TikTok, I said, if you don't slit them, they're going to poof up like this. And the girl says, you said it like it was something negative. Well, to me it is. Because if I came to your house and you gave me a fried jack like this, low-key, I'm going to be disappointed. Because I don't like it like this. I don't like it poofy like this, all right? So all of them poofed up. This is the one that's made with milk. This is the one that's made with butter and water. This is the one that's made with shortening and water. And this is the one, we had to stop just because Joe's phone was ringing. This is the one that's made with no kind of fat and water, okay? So now all of them, like I told you, did not poof up when the temperature was too low. When the temperature was just right, then you get them like this. It's as simple as that. Then somebody complained too because I put butter on top. Aren't you supposed to put butter? You're not supposed to just eat it with refried beans and stewed chicken and stewed beef or whatever. You can eat it whatever you want. Let me show you what my uncle white wife eat it with. Oh, make some of you mad. Can you see this? Powder sugar. When I first made this for her and she tasted it, she goes, go get me some powdered sugar from the pantry. And after that, that's how Jada will eat it from time to time. Not all the time, but especially when it's hot, just out of the oil, she'll put some powdered sugar. And it's kind of like a beignet, right?
Kind of like a churro.
Well, churro is sweeter.
Right.
This is not sweet. So let me show you what I did, guys. This first one is the one that uses the butter. So I'm adding the baking powder and then 2 tablespoons of softened butter. I'm not going to add any salt because my butter is salted. So let me work the butter in first, and then I'm going to slowly add the water because I don't want to over wet the dough, okay? So just kind of knead it, and then when it starts to form into a dough like this, put it on the floured countertop, roll it off, and now I'm going to set this aside because we're going to work on the other one, which is the one that uses the shortening. So add the baking powder, 2 tablespoons of shortening, work it in, add water, form it into a dough, and then put it on the countertop. Once it's smooth, I'm going to go ahead and put it in this bowl and set it aside. Now this one is the one that I put the salt in. This is the one that just uses flour, baking powder, salt, and water. This is the way that Joe's mom makes it. So dump it on the countertop. Knead it into a smooth dough ball. Then put it in this bowl. Now we're going to work on the one that uses the milk. Flour, baking powder, milk. You can put salt if you want, but I'm not going to put any salt. Knead it into a dough ball. And then put it in this bowl and set it aside. So these are all my test studies right here. So let me grab the one that's made with the butter. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this into 3. And then use 1 piece to roll it out flat to about 1/8 of an inch thick. And then I'm going to use my little paring knife here. Just cut it in 2. Put a slit in 1/2 and then no slit in the other half, because I'm going to show you guys that that part of the reason why it will poof up if you don't put the slit, okay? So this is the one that's made with the shortening. Roll this off. Okay, flatten it. And go ahead and cut it into 2. And then put a slit here and leave the other one unslitted. So when I was growing up, my mom didn't used to make it like this. She would roll out the whole entire dough on the countertop and just cut it into different sizes and shapes. So this is the one that has no fat at all. Because remember, the one that has milk has fat because milk has fat built in, right? So just go ahead and do the same thing here. And then this is the one that's made with the milk. So 4 pieces in the test study, okay? Alright, so now I'm going to put some oil in my cast iron skillet. Let me set this one right here on the counter. I'm going to bring it up to temperature. And then we're going to start doing some frying. So as you can see, the piece that does not have the slit in it will poof up like this. And you have to remember to fry it on all sides because you don't want to leave any of the sides white. Let me put another couple pieces in. And these are my observations. As long as the temperature of the oil is hot enough, the piece that doesn't have the slit will poof up, all right? It's no magic to the thing, guys. So let's get back to what Joe and I are talking about. All right, so does this finally settle the Great Fried Jack debate? That's what I'm going to name this video. The Great Fried Jack debate. I'm not doing anything wrong with my fried jack. If you want to put fat in your fried jack, be my guest, all right? But just keep in mind that you're going to put butter or shortening and you're going to fry it in oil. We're old. We don't have the luxury of eating all that fat. You know, we're going to send our cholesterol sky high if we do that. So we just kind of switch it out to milk. We get a nice texture that we like.
And folks, if you want to fight with Country Joe.
Yeah.
Country Joe is a man.
Joe, they always drag me. They don't drag Country Joe, and it's his recipe. You know? Don't eat my fried jack because I have to take pictures, okay? Just slowly roll. I'll fry you another one. So I have all this rest of the dough left over. I have 2, 4, 6, 8. Well, I fried these ones already. So what I'm going to do with those is probably make them, the ones that have the fat inside, the butter and the shortening, I'm probably going to make those into tortilla. Flour tortilla for lunch or something. And the other ones that are not, you know, like this one, That's real fried jack. Did you catch it? And this one, I'm just gonna put them in the fridge, you know, for the kids to fry when, you know, it'll last 2-3 days in the fridge. Not in the freezer, but in the fridge. It'll last a couple of days. So anyways, guys, thank you for coming along with me on this ride. If you want to know how to become a sponsor to the show, or if you have a show idea like this, hit me up at this email, bearpanthershow@gmail.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about this scientific study that I just did. I like doing stuff like this. Remember when the guy told me that you had to poke the Johnny cake to make it not, you know, swell up or overswell or something, and I tested it. I did a scientific test. I didn't poke some and I left some poked, and it wasn't true. You know, so I feel, Joe, sometimes that recipes are like religion. They get handed down for generation and we don't question nothing. We question everything up in here. That's why we have a whole show called the Bear Pantry Show. Thank you for coming in here with me today, Joe, and don't worry, I'll feed you. I'll fry you nice when you get it hot. What you gonna eat it with, baby?
Beef, maybe?
We have baked chicken back there.
I don't bake chicken.
Joe can't stand chicken no more. Joe only like beef now. We have beef back there too. Beef and potato. Oh, Lord, we're going to have a good lunch. All right, guys. Thank you for watching.
Folks.
Bye.
Bye.
Remember, guys, we're not buying this book. Pick up a copy of this book instead. Beans and Rice Volume 2 is the only Belizean cookbook backed by the Bear Pantry Show. Take a look at all these wonderful recipes you'll find inside the pages. Not interested in Belizean dishes? Then The Pantry Laid Bare with these better than restaurant quality comfort foods might be the perfect book for you. Only need a small batch or a meal for two? Then pick up a copy of No More Leftovers. Each book has many choices of delicious dishes from basic ingredients.